Welcome along to Coming Home, surviving and thriving in your homeschooling. Today is about looking after you. There's a saying that goes, if the wheels fall off mama, they fall off everything. Homeschool parents are strong people. You have to be to choose a contrarian pathway, but the strongest person has their breaking point. You need to know what this point is and the signs for when you're getting close to it. If you don't know the difference between serving and being a servant to your family, I would suggest a rethink. If you take more notice of the injunction to die to yourself and less of loving yourself as your neighbour, then there's some unbalance needing to be addressed. A homeschooling life is a full life, and life in the fast lane needs to be cared for. Looking after you includes getting good sleep, eating and drinking well, taking any needed supplements, exercise, and taking time out. So let's look at some practical ways of how to look after you. Take care of you, and you'll be in a better position to care for your family. Number 1, it helps to have both macro and micro routines. The macro could include traditional, seasonal, meals, and other basic household routines. The micro could be the details such as waking and sleeping times, everyday household chores, start and stop times for schoolwork, and daily break times with and without the children. 2. Keep a beautiful plate, glass, and cup or mug just for you during your homeschool day. It'll make you feel a little bit special. 3. Have a hobby which is not related to homeschooling. Mine is knitting. Not only is it meditative and therapeutic, I create beautiful and practical items of clothing and other lovely things. 4. Find little and big ways to pamper and nurture yourself, from do-it-yourself manicures to booking a massage. 5. It's okay to do things without the children. In fact, I recommend it. A little time away could be all you need to refresh and go home as a rejuvenated mum. 6. Coffee with a friend can be a great pick-me-up. You may need to choose whom you see according to your needs at the time. That is, you can both benefit from a good therapeutic chat. But if your chat time is all one-way traffic, that is, you're doing all the listening, you'll come home wearier than when you went. Number 7. Get dressed for the day like someone will be paying you a visit. Choose clothing which looks good as well as feels comfortable. Being at home is no excuse to look dowdy. Think about the unspoken message you're telling your children about how you view being at home with them and what you think about yourself. 8. Read some books for fun rather than feeling you should only or mostly read homeschool enhancing books. 9. If you're not a naturally organised person, and I'm not, subscribe to self-help sites such as flylady.net. It will tell you what to do and when to do it. I appreciated the Fly Lady so much, and 20 plus years later, I still use her advice. 10. Choose exercise you enjoy and fits easily into a busy life. If you love the gym, that's great. It can be part of your time out. If you don't, take advantages of opportunities as they come. Walk, climb the stairs, squeeze those muscles at traffic lights. You know which muscles I mean. There are so many exercises you can do along the way. I call this the incidental gym. 11. A quick word about supplements. I will do an entire episode on this, but for now I recommend vitamin D3, maca powder, a probiotic and a good multivitamin. There are others I take, but these would be my first choices. Be sure to research each of these to know what and how much to take, and for the maca powder, even if you should. 12. Go to a homeschool support group which uplifts and encourages you. If you regularly come home feeling inadequate or unsettled, it's time to find another group. And number 13, laughter is the best medicine. A good belly laugh can be just what you need. Keep a favourite movie, book or comedy to hand. Mine is The Darling Buds of May by H.E. Bates. Whilst not strictly a comedy, it was a regular escape hatch for me. Don't be surprised when you feel you have some down days. Everyone has these, whether they're homeschooling or not. It doesn't mean you're doing a bad job or failing. It's just a bad day, that's all. It's okay to recognise your tipping points and decide to take a teacher-only day. Our schools in New Zealand have these, and it means just that. Children stay home and teachers only at school, usually timed just before a long weekend. For you, it can mean you cancel bookwork and get a good book out and read aloud whilst they draw, do puzzles or play quietly with their Lego. Maybe take an impromptu field trip to the beach, a park or the museum, or fulfill their socialisation needs, you know, the need that everyone else is so concerned about, and visit some friends. Get the chippies or popcorn out and have a movie afternoon, especially if you've just read the book. You'll feel so much better if you make an executive decision and everyone benefits from the therapeutic change. If you're a gardener, you'll understand the metaphors of compost, pruning and planning. You know very well what happens if you keep taking out of your garden without replenishing and caring for it. If you're not a gardener, think about your car. If you don't service it regularly, it's going to cost you a lot eventually. Tyres wear out, brake pads need replacing, and so do spark plugs and batteries. You can't keep driving without pulling in sometimes to fill up with petrol. If you don't, your car stops. That's so simple to understand. And my truth spoken in love to you is, why do you think you're any different? Look after yourself and you'll do a better job of homeschooling and being the most amazing parent your child needs. This episode has covered good old basic self-help techniques and ideas. You need to implement the above as part of your normal life. When your down days are more than your good days and you know you're struggling, you'll need to take further action. I'll do a separate session on burnout in the near future. I realise this may have come across as more negative a chat than an uplifting one. I don't know what to do about that, except to say applying what I've suggested to you can help the down or negative times, and to have a contented and satisfying day most of the time. Play this episode as often as you need to remind yourself of how to look after you. One last tip. Never underestimate the therapeutic benefit of chocolate. The darker the better. But on a bad day, anything will do.